And welcome back, everybody. That was great. Thank you, Kasha. So here we are. Thank you. I wanted to start by saying that we live in unprecedented times. What with the pandemic that's been going on, and it's thrown me for a loop. And I'm trying for some normalcy. So what I've done is I start my day with a routine. They say routines are an important way to add regularity. So what I do is I wake up, I get online, and I try to find someone who has invented a robot that cuts hair. And I have not had any luck at all with that. And I have to tell you, the nose trimmer, the nose hair trimmer just doesn't cut it. Literally, it doesn't cut it. Instead, what I've seen online is I've seen a lot of people blaming other people. We have a big problem, and instead of fixing it, people are blaming people, governments, other states, other countries. People are blaming the World Health Organization, the WHO. You can't make fun of the WHO because they're one of the people who are fixing stuff. Also, Abbott and Costello already did a sketch that made fun of WHO, and we can't really do that again. Hey, a lot of people out there should be blamed for all the trouble that we've had with this pandemic. Yeah, who? Exactly. No, who do you mean? Yes, I am. No, I'm asking you, who should we blame? Absolutely. And also, we should cut their funding. Who's funding? Every penny. That should be the first thing on the list. What? No, what's on second? Yeah. And it continues like that because that's a sketch that I stole from somebody else. But the reason people are blaming other people is because they're stubborn and they're rigid in their thoughts. But not Moy, because celebrated Chinese philosopher Confucius once told me, on his deathbed, he said, "You must bend, but never break." And then he died of a bent aorta. And the point is now I'm flexible, like rubber, boing, because you have to be open-minded, and not enough people are. And that's why people are blaming each other. I go over it a lot in my new book, Don't Be Lame, Don't Blame, which is on the market right now. It's not just a typo that became a whole book. It's actually a snapshot of our current era. Can we get a close-up of that, anyone? Okay, see, it's
Yay.
People who don't look at me in the era of, hey, look at me. It's really an expose of our current zeitgeist. And when you read my book, Don't Be Lame, Don't Blame, which of course you have to buy first, and they're on sale just $10 each, or there's a bulk special, $150 for a dozen. And when you get my book, and you know, it's chock full of wisdom. We had one reviewer who actually said this book is full of it. And wisdom, apparently, is what I'm guessing. And we have some people in the waiting room. Okay, let's get those people in. Here's the deal. When you read my book, you will learn a lot of stuff that I've learned the hard way. For one thing, I teach you that when I point my finger of blame at somebody, 3 fingers are pointing back at me, which then bounce off me because I'm rubber, boing, back to whomever is pointing at in the first place. In this case, the White House, because I don't think the White House ingesting disinfectants. I mean, come on, smoke another one, Donald. Now, the other day, after morning nap, my mom, Pat, came down to the basement and she said, hey, why don't you tell them that not only do you write these great books, but you're a motivational speaker and you're really good. But I didn't come here tonight to talk about Pat because she's not the boss of me right now. I came here to tell you that I'm a motivational speaker and I'm really good. I am. The longer people spend around me, the happier they are with their own lives, and I have the surveys to back that up. I speak to people and 5 minutes later, they're on their feet, motivated out of the building to do something better with their lives. I motivate people to do good things, and I wean them off their bad habits. I'm a huge wiener. You can go online, Google up huge wiener, and tell me what you see. All right, probably more, but you don't have to believe me. You can get one of my other books. This one is this is called Whining and Winning. It's about how to make priorities out of criorities, and it's a motivational book that focuses on using your emotions and how to leverage your emotions, because when you think about it, at the end of the day, we're emotional beings. That's what we are, and we like to connect on an emotional level. Here's a perfect example. Roy, I see Roy is in the audience. Roy, I can hear you talking because you're a good listener and you've got your hand up. Roy, where are you logging in from today?
Arlington, Virginia.
Correct. All right, thanks, Roy. That was great. Now, so we're correct. Creating an emotional relationship. Roy, what'd you have for breakfast today?
Farina.
Farina. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Nice try, stupid face. Now, you see what I did there? I created a different emotional dynamic. So now we have different emotional points. These are graph points that we can connect and create a dialogue, which can grow to a conversation, which can grow to a relationship. And then we get that web and we sell that to multinational corporations. And we take the emotional component out of that, and then we fill that, or actually they fill that with material goods. And then that's what makes the economy work. And that proves, that puts consumerism where it should be, which is at the top of the chart, above emotional health and the stewardship of the planet and the sanity and fate of all human mankind underneath that. Yeah. So just $9.99 while supplies last. And you can get all of these. These are all at your bookstore or library, and they're on the in the self-help section. And that one you could probably get right next to my other motivational book. Can we see that? It's called 64,426 Steps to a Simpler Life. Really, the title says it all, but it's a funny story. It was actually 68,125 steps to a simpler life. And then the publisher called and said, hey, could you add 301 more steps? And I said, sure. I asked why, and they said, well, it's because we printed up some of the jackets and some of the other merchandise that we're selling with it, and we put the wrong number. So then we upgraded it. And it gets, again, this book gets great reviews. The last reviewer said he only needed to read 10 pages because that's how precise the writing is. They could get the whole gist of it in just a few pages, because it's about simplifying your life and time savers and how to make you efficienter as a person, like I just demonstrated right there, efficienter. I saved an entire word. And there's also little tricks in here that are they're called life hacks. Here's a life hack that I did just the other day, and I'm reminded of it because it was such a simple one. Light bulb went out, change a light bulb. Here's what you need to do next time you change a light bulb. Get a Sharpie marker, and write the date on the new light bulb. You write the date before you install it. And it has to be a Sharpie because there's certain toxins in the ink. And every time you turn that light on, the toxins warm up and you get a little buzz. So that's little, little life hack for you guys for being here. Oh, and of course, I've got 68,000. This was one of my favorites, but actually my first real blockbuster is called Be the Boss of Your Basement. And because when you think about it, the basement is the most important room of the house. You can't build an upstairs until you have a foundation, and that's what the basement is. It's the most important room, it's the foundation, and then everything else is extra that gets added on after. And when you buy Be the Boss of Your Basement, you will learn things about how to negotiate with the powers above, on how to get like a larger allowance, or get more space on the share shelf, or you can figure out how to change the parental codes on the computer, so you can go to those websites that have been off limits for a while. And I have another book which I don't even have anymore because they sold out. It's called it was my second motivational book. It's called The Universe Begins with You, and IVE. It's a spelling book. It motivates people. Was going to be a picture book, but you can't draw a picture of the universe. That would be stupid. Now, the books are great. The books are very popular, but to be honest with you, I do most of my work. I give motivational talks. And this month, I was scheduled to give a motivational talk in San Diego, and their conference got changed from a real conference to a virtual conference. And they said, hey, can you still, instead of giving your talk, can you just record your talk, and then we'll air it or broadcast it in the conference, and then we won't pay you. And does that work with you? And I said, sure, whatever. I'll take what I can get. Anyway, the talk I give is called Stress Less with Robert Mack. If you follow me on social media, you probably recognize that last month was Stress Awareness Month, and every day of the month, I actually made 31 stress reduction tips, 31, one for every hour of the day and day of the week. 31. And I posted those every day, and they're sort of the backbone of my motivational talk. But since you guys didn't see all of those, we're going to run a short clip from my talk that aired at a conference just the other day. So if we can get our director to run that.